it just shows how we've developed in the last few years, just being able to do the right things at the end of the game without thinking too much about the score. And it also shows that we know what we have to do, and it's just a testament of how well connected we are.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Rugby Through the Leagues podcast. I know it's been a little while since the last one. Lots been going on. Obviously, Spanish rugby has been busier than ever. Obviously, have a few games ourselves, managed to get through a final. We are now welcomed today by a Copa del Rey winner. Obviously, on the recent weekend, Alcobendas player Vidal Souza has joined us. Vidal, really appreciate your time, mate. I'm sure a lot of people would like to see that medal if you've got it floating around anyway.
Thank you very much for having me. And yes, I have it here. So I'm really happy about it, and just having it close to me for as long as I can till happy enough to get another one.
What a game that was. 39-40 against Cisneros, local derby effectively in Leganes as well. What a day for Spanish rugby. Obviously, last season it was in Valladolid against the two Valladolid teams, 40,000 people. This year was slightly different in a new stadium. Two local teams again going close, bang to bang, but 39-40, you must have been thinking, is this going to come off in a few occasions?
Yeah, it was such a nerve-wracking game. Like we started really bad. They got us against the ring. We ended up in the 20th minute 13-0, and it got to a point where they were doing everything right and we were doing everything wrong. But thankfully we pulled two tries before the halftime and managed to get a 16-14 score during halftime. So it got us into the fight. And the second half was just nerve-wracking. We got two tries quick enough in the second half. They scored 3 tries quick enough after us, and then at the end, our number 8 just pulled a miraculously try at the end of a scrum, and we could hold the result. But it was amazing. Obviously, when you watch it, it's amazing. But whenever you're a player or whenever you're on the pitch, it was just unbelievable just to be part of that.
That seems to be a fairly common scenario for Alcobendas this season. You guys leave it late, very narrow wins, but still grinding out results. I was there for the Vila game when you played them about a month or so ago, and again another one that was you were behind in the first half, and then the second half just come out and did that dominant period and managed to shut out any sort of fight back. I know that's not planned by the coaches, but that must be a real testament to you boys to know that even if you are behind, you're not as well. That must be a real buoyant feeling for a player as part of a squad of such. It is a really good team at Alcobendas at the minute, and is that more built on mentality rather than playing in that sense? Like, you don't play to come from behind every time, but the group's so well drilled together.
Yeah, to be fair, like last year and the year before, we lost a few games in the last minutes. We couldn't pull through, or we were the ones that score late in the second half, and we ended up with in the bad side of the score. And this year, it's just been incredible how we've pulled some amazing wins against like Barcelona there, La Vila, against Salvador, against like Brac in the semifinal of La Copa del Rey. So it just shows how well we've developed in the last few years, just being able to do the right things at the end of the game without thinking too much about the score. And it also shows that the quality of players we have, it doesn't matter if you're starting, if you're on the bench, like we know what we have to do. And it's just a testament of how well connected we are, and that we know that we're in for each other and that we can pull it through. Hopefully we don't have many more games this season that we have to fight till the 79th minute, but fair play to lose Cisneros. They put us against the wall.
They've been a very good team as well in the league as well. They've done very similar situations. They've gone to teams that you probably thought in form they're not going to go and beat, and they've convincingly put score lines as well. So one hell of a final to be lined up as well, and that the Leganes Stadium as well is really impressive for what is a football rugby conversion as well. I know the weather was terrible at the start during the the Copa del Rey now as well. Did that affect the pitch much, or how did that sort of work against you or for you?
The pitch was perfect. Like, it was not slippery. It was not like muddy or like just heavy for scrums. So you just have to give it to the conditions that it was just. We were lucky enough to have really good conditions for the game, and just being able to enjoy it also for the fans, because it just made everything perfect, to be fair.
Nice. Where did the rugby journey begin, and where have you been, and how much does Spanish rugby differ to other places you've played? Because obviously we've got a mutual friend and a previous guest to the podcast, Ben Donald, obviously from the Cobras, and that's how we started this conversation, mate.
Yeah, I haven't had a typical rugby journey. Like, I didn't start rugby till I was 21. So I started rugby in my second year of college. Out of like, I was not in a happy place. I was not really healthy. Like, I was having like a wee low period mentally. I was not happy with myself. My older brother convinced me just to go down to the rugby pitch in my hometown in León to meet some guys, just get out of the house and just try to just enjoy some time. I did it. I started going down more often, meet the guys from the rugby team over there, and I just fell in love with the sport. It was a tough first year because of injuries, because of like some problems we had in the rugby club with the disease of one of my mates from the club. Like, out of nowhere, just we kept together, and I played another season in León, enjoyed it that much, and after that it's just been a roller coaster. I went to Italy to play in the Serie A with Settimo Torinese. Then COVID hit, so we had to come back to Spain because of the COVID and the quarantine. Went to play for Chami. I started playing with the under-20s in Chami in my third season, and then played a few games with the first team and finished my college degree, and then went to play AIL 1A in Ballynahinch in Ireland.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to, at the middle of the season, I got offered an internship to go develop as a vet surgeon in London. But the day before going over there, I broke my collarbone and required surgery, so I had to stay for my papers to get done in Belfast and get the surgery. And in the meanwhile, Brazil contacted me. Like, I told him I was eligible. I did not think I was eligible for Spain, or I was going to get called up. So Brazil called up, went over there, played with Brazil, and then they called me if I wanted to play for Cobras. Made the transition from back row to hooker in the Cobras pre-season. And then after the season was done with Cobras, I signed with Alcobendas, just because my missus is from Spain. She lives in my hometown, and I've been here since then. This is my third season. I'm planning on signing a fourth one with Alcobendas, and I couldn't be happier about it.
Nice, because when I was speaking to Ben, he said that the Cobras, it's kind of a short-term contract. It's like 6 months, so there's no guaranteed consistency and stuff. Is that similar setup to Spanish rugby? Like, I know it's sort of developing, it's getting a bit better. There's maybe a slightly longer period now that we've got the centralised contracts and the vision of Spanish rugby to get bigger and bigger. Is that being passed down through the clubs, or are we still kind of season to season?
To be fair, like in Alcobendas, we go season to season, but there's a few players that have like a two-year contract. But you have to give it to Alcobendas. They don't wait till the summer to re-sign you or to tell you that you're being let go. They start having those conversations in March, so you know what's the plan for the future, and you can like arrange what you're gonna do in the summer, and like you can prepare for the next season. So kudos to the DOR of Alcobendas and the coach, because there might be another clubs that pay more, but Alcobendas just treats you in a way that is just unbelievable, respectful, and it just makes you like stay here. Like, I'm in love of this club, and I'm just so happy to be here.
Yeah, amazing. Because as you say, like at this level, sometimes teams do pay more, but it's not life-changing money, is it? Not yet. Like, it's not you're not like you're signing a 50 grand a week contract. It's
no, 100%.
Like sometimes it's just worth to be treated better and have that. The facilities up there are pretty decent as well. You've obviously got a good pathway. There's good players that have come out of Alcobendas and gone on to other stuff. We had obviously Mario Picardi on previously. He's obviously now playing in France. He went back to Alcobendas for a season, and that's his home club. I know I speak to him a fair bit, and he goes back quite regularly. Like you sort of done your medical degree, I'm assuming you do, or in the process of it, becoming a surgeon, etc. Is that the long-term vision? But just rugby is the passion. If you had that opportunity, would you have gone full-time rugby?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I don't know if I could say, but like I was lucky enough that I discovered rugby when I was already in veterinary school. So the first 2 years I played rugby, I was playing regional level. So like obviously rugby was a hobby, and veterinary degree was like my future. Once I like something, I just like it at most, and like I want to do it the best I can. So once I got my degree, like I had a conversation with my parents and with my friends, and they are like, look, as long as you like cover yourself and cover your expenses, you can do whatever you want. You've earned that right. And since then, like I've been lucky enough that I've had the good opportunities, and I've traveled around the world, played with some amazing players, played in some amazing leagues, and this winning La Copa del Rey last weekend has been like a really exciting moment to prove that it was worth it. Obviously, from my family and my relatives, like there's nobody like in my friend group that plays high performance sport, because like I haven't been in an academy of a great team like Alcobendas, or like my friends from school we played football till we were 18. So it's just been amazing. Sometimes I doubt it, like, okay, maybe I should get a job, maybe I should go back and live with my missus, but like it's just amazing. It's been amazing, my journey, and like whatever happens in the future, like I think I'll look back into it and just be grateful.
Those stories you get to tell as well, that those medals that are obviously sat with you now, like there's not many people that have got those stories from it's not just rugby, it's sport as a general. Like you always come away with more stories than most. Like everyone's got a story where they've been to the pub and it's been a funny day, but those bits when you're playing with your brothers, battling down, and you end up coming out with a trophy or a medal or something like that, they're the bits that will stick with you forever. And obviously the Copa del Rey's now been done, dusted, ready for next season for the defence. You've now got to focus on the División de Honor playoffs. We've obviously got Vila coming up at the weekend. They're on a little bit of a rut recently, obviously, but the game at their place, they're not to be discounted, are they? And obviously it's going to be a tough game to get through this weekend. And what's the plan of, obviously, because a lot of teams that come off the back of such a high game after is usually a little bit wobbly. What's been the preparation throughout the week from the coaches to make sure that you don't sort of get away with yourself a little bit too much? It's
been a focus for the whole second part of the season, just to get to both finals and obviously win them. But like you know how rugby goes. Sometimes finals go in your favor, sometimes they don't. But like once we won the Copa del Rey, we were just focused on La Vila this weekend. As you said, like they haven't had a good second half of the season, but like we played them like a month ago, and it was one of our toughest games of the season. They're such a great team. They're physical. They play of the breakdown. They play of the turnover balls. So it can go either way if we are not on our toes this weekend. So it's been just really preparation for the weekend, and it's just been working mentally just to get ready for the weekend, get back physically, and just rehab anything that we have after that tough game, because the ball in play was really high last weekend. So like the body was sore on Monday for sure, but it's just been mentally, just being ready for what La Vila has. And like after like 3-4 weeks of preparing the final, this week has just been focusing on details, seeing what La Vila does best, and just focusing on us, what we can do best and what we can offer.
So we saw firsthand how good their driving Maul was, especially against you guys. That's obviously probably going to be one of those aspects to try and focus on. How do you guys? It's hard to train against the driving Maul like that because it's hard to replicate. What's the focus? Because obviously, I think they scored 3 tries off it against you, so they're probably going to go back to that playbook again because they know that it worked.
It worked.
What's the target at a high performance level? How do you sort of find a way of trying to stop that? Is there a lot of analysis done, or is it a case of we just got to get stronger, or you just got to find a way of collapsing it? Like,
to be fair, like the thing against driving Mauls is, first of all, don't give out stupid penalties.
Yeah,
because the games that we've lost this season, like I don't want to take away anything from our rivals, but like it's just been us just giving away penalties and then getting to the more range. And you've played rugby, you know how difficult it is to defend like a rolling ball on a 5 meter line. So basically, the first thing is just don't give away penalties for them to score. I think we've improved a lot in the last month in our defense on mauls. Once the maul is being done, the thing is you just have to get there early, get in your spot, and just don't let it get momentum, because once you get momentum, either in the maul, in the scrum, or in anything, it's just really tough just to stop it. And you have to give it to them. They have a really good maul, and they've put a lot of teams under pressure with it, being us, being Burgos, being Brack. So it's just a matter of don't let them get in those situations. And if we have to get there, you just have to put your head down and just grind it.
Once you guys get it through the back line, your back line's pretty devastating when you get the options to get through the hands. But as you said last time round, the play was scrappy. You weren't able to sort of get the ball was slowed down a lot. Obviously must be a big focus on trying to get that breakdown secured, quick ball, get it into open play, because that has probably been your super strength alongside the scrum. The scrum's been devastating this year. When you've switched it on, you've been able to switch it on. But Alcobendas getting it through that back line.
Yeah,
I'll remember watching one of the earliest games when you guys. I think you lost. Maybe did you lose the first game of the season or the second? And then
we lost
it was just
the second and the third. And then we started playing the game, and
literally just ball, like how he managed to pass it from the halfway, like the middle of the pitch to the outside. It was just deft touches, was just devastating, and that's been the superpower. But you really struggled against Levere because of the slow play. It's just a case of, as you said, get your head down, get in, get it cleared, and get it gone.
Yeah, I think playing La Vila in La Vila is just such a tough game. A lot of teams have lost during the last few years, and it's just a matter of like we couldn't get two faces together against them there. We're grateful. We're a really good team in the back line. We have R9 and 10 for me are just amazing. And like we just, as forwards, we just have to give them quality ball for them to play and just be able to do those one-on-one against La Vila, and just being able to give the balls to our wingers, because like we know once we give 3-4 faces together, we get the ball to the width, and then we come back, and then we let our backs play. We can get some momentum, and that's where we get our best place.
Right, I've got a question for you. Right,
yeah.
Coming from England, playing on 4G pitches is just like the worst thing ever. Like you may as well. I prefer to play in a car park. But over in Spain, it's more common because obviously it's easy because it's usually shared with other facilities and stuff. So the teams like Levere, etc., have got those grass pitches. Do you guys have to train in a different way to prepare for a grass pitch when your home pitch is an Astro pitch? I've spoken to a few teams back in England that have got Astro pitches that every other weekend have to go and play on a grass pitch. So they've got the reverse problem, whereas most Spanish clubs play on an Astro pitch. But then they have to remember when they go and play on a grass pitch, the ball's going to turn in a different way. Or do you prep during the week, or do you just go and play your game? And then if the ball bounces that way, it bounces that way?
To be fair, you have to take that into account. We've been lucky enough to play in natural pitches in the right months of the year. So we played Brack in April, where the pitch was just marvelous, and we played La Vila, where like the weather was quite nice. We haven't had the chance to play like a muddy pitch. Well, we played the Cisneros in, I think it was October or November. I don't remember. And like the pitch was quite muddy, so the game slows down. The scrums get a little more messy because you cannot get just stats on the ground. So you take those things into account, but like you just think like, okay, it's gonna be as muddy for both teams, or it's just gonna be as good for both of us. To be fair, like I like 4G pitches like Alcobendas one, but if you play like in a pitch like Leganes or Pepe Rojo, it doesn't make much of a difference in my opinion. Like they just work wonders, and it doesn't slow down our game, if I may say.
No, it's interesting because there's a few teams, as I said, back in England, they've got the luxury of having a 4G pitch so that the games don't get called off, but they then have to remember when they go and play on a grass pitch. Yeah. They're 9 and 10. It doesn't matter. Like if they nudge it over the top, it's going to go in a different manner. So they have to train in advance. So no, it's interesting because the Spanish rugby, obviously, most teams have got a 4G pitch now because obviously that's how it's set up. But obviously this season, the División de Honor as well, we've seen Barca drop out and Sevilla obviously slipped out as well. El Salvador have obviously really, really struggled this season. There's a lot of discussions in the background. I think there's been a few issues behind the scenes. Having a team of that ilk drop off so much, has that buoyed a few teams to realise that actually these teams can switch on and off and get ready? Obviously, Alcobendas have managed to put themselves further up. Burgos and Vrac are just two different beasts in themselves, aren't they? They are just what they are, but they've both proven that they're beatable this season as well. And I think it's probably made this season really exciting. And then you got teams like Liceo Francés that have thrown themselves into the mix and had a really good run and then a terrible run. And then it's just been such an exciting season. What's been your standout game?
Yeah, I think for us, like the whole season's just been a warm world of emotions. But if I have to select a few games, it would be our Burgos game in the Copa del Rey that we played the last week of December. That it qualified us for the semi-final. Our two games against Brac in the semi-final of the Copa del Rey, and the last game we played against them. Not only because we won, which we have to take that into account, but it's just been amazing rugby. It's just been really, really crowded in the stands, and it's just been amazing rugby where both teams just played their full cards, and it's just been amazing. And in general, it's just been great. Like you said, Salvador hasn't had a great season, but if they beat Brac this weekend, it's a good season because like they've reached the semifinals, they beat Brac, and they've managed to stay for another season. Everyone that watches the División de Honor knows it could happen. Like it's just everyone could beat anybody this season. Like for example, Brac was Barca was the first team that was relegated, and our game against them, like we won in the 82nd minute. Like they've been that good. And then Liceo Francés, they came from going up last year, and they've been one team that nobody wanted to play because they've just been really physical, and they could beat you in a bit. So it's just been amazing the whole season that you could not rotate players, so just take a weekend off, because it would mean like you will lose a game, or even like it just been a really tough game.
It's been exciting. And then obviously you've got the Elite underneath as well, which has just been phenomenal. To throw Barca into the mix of that next year and Sevilla is going to be it's going to be phenomenal. And obviously we're waiting to find out who comes up, potentially Pozuelo, Guernica. There's some really
amazing teams.
It's going to be exciting to keep it moving. And do you feel Spanish rugby's at that point where it's turned now? Like it's now becoming, it's been taken more seriously. There's more bits being lined up. We've got obviously the potential World Cup bid for 2035. The focus from not just the the federations, but also the public are starting to notice it a little bit more. Rugby's rugby, in it. Like, we love rugby, but we think everyone else should love rugby because we love rugby.
Yeah.
But it's still going to find a hard journey to get out of the shadow of football. But when Spain turn up and want to win something, they usually that is full focus. So it feels like we're at that cusp of it now. Does it feel like that on the pitch and around the clubs and stuff?
It's just, I think the qualification for the World Cup has just been it's been amazing news. It's been years on the wait. Like, it just gives young players the excitement of trying to qualify for one, trying to play for Spain, and also it just gives the league so much quality because you have players in the league that are gonna go and play in Australia next year, and they're playing against Portugal. They're playing against like really tough nations in the Nations Cup this summer. So once they play against those teams, they come back, they're better, and it makes us better, and it raises the level of the league, and it's always exciting to be able to say like, oh, like, my teammates went and play for the World Cup. Like, I'm one of those guys that started playing rugby because I was a fan. So for me, being able to say like, oh, listen, I play against, let's say, Martin Dutoit, a guy that played for the South African franchise, being able to say like, oh, listen, I've played with Mario Picciardi, I've played with Agustin Cittadini, I've played with guys that play for Spain. It's just amazing because once you train with them, and if you're willing to do that, they teach you things they learned. It just makes you better. And once you play teams, and next year that there are going to be only 10 teams in the first division, in División de Honor, the level is going to continue to rise. With the under 20s coming, they're quite good, and the guys that just want to push for like a international spot, or even just to be starters and be able to just enjoy those Copa del Rey finals, league finals, or just enjoy life.
It's going to be exciting, especially with obviously with the Copa del Rey as well, they included the Elite teams. Obviously, I think you only had a couple of games against the Elite teams. Was there such a vast difference, or did you say, oh, actually, that we're not far, that these teams aren't far off? Like, some of them took a battering, some of them really struggled in the Copa del Rey compared to their league form, but must have been others that people thought, oh, actually, if we don't like step up here.
We played Abelles, and to be fair, the first half, we could only, they hold us to like a 14-0 score. And then obviously in the second half, whenever some of us got into the pitch, and obviously our bench made a mark, like we could hold on to like a bigger score. But like, we played Phoenix, our third game of the Copa del Rey group, and like we didn't play a great game, and we ended up like fighting to win that game. Like, they almost beat us. They were putting us under a lot of pressure in the Maul. They were putting us under a lot of pressure in the scrum. And that game, that everyone would think, okay, it's a DHB team against a DH team, it's supposed to be an easy win. Like, we almost lost it because they played such a great rugby and they knew what they had to do. They played some basics. So it just shows you how great the DHB league is doing. And like, for example, I'll give you another example. Most of our signings from last year to this one have been DHB players, and they've been amazing. Like our number 8, Beka Kokosvili, he played 5 years for Majadahonda. That they play not even DHB Elite, they play DHB, and he's been one of our standout players and one of the best players last weekend against Copa del Rey. Then Lautaro, a guy from Industriales, Arturo de Besa, Rodrigo Serrano. These guys were playing DHB last year, and they came to the first division, and they've played like they've been here for the whole life. So it just shows you the quality of players in that league, and that, like, given the chance, anyone could be in our spot in the first division. And like, hopefully the league continues developing.
I can't wait. Like, the Elite is going to be even better next season. And like, even the Division de Honor Bay as well. We've got teams down there, you think obviously we've got the top tier at the minute. Getcho look like they're going to be putting themselves in that position to come up, and if they carry on investing, they could be devastating next year as well. They're nearly going to go the whole season unbeaten, and you think they
have a really good team.
They have a very obviously they've recruited well, a lot of foreign signings and stuff, but a lot of people want to come and play rugby in Spain, which is a real good point for all of us to see and move on. But we've got a lot of bits planned for next season, so hopefully we can get you back on and use your knowledge of being on the pitch as well, and get you a bit more involved with the channel next year, because it's been an absolute honour to have you on, mate. I'm going to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
What's the one game in your career that stands out? What's the one that if you literally went to sleep tonight and never woke up tomorrow, what would be the one game that would play again over in your head so far?
Well, after last week, it will be tough to say something different than la Copa del Rey final.
Yeah.
But if I could say a different game, I would be. I think it would be when I debuted for Brazil. Like, we played against Chile, and obviously, as I said, like I come from the lower bottom of the Spanish leagues. So in a 4-year period, I never imagined I could be in that environment or just being able to say that. So I would say that because of the emotional, but obviously Alcobendas, the Copa del Rey final, or just the semi-final against Brack in Pepe Rojo would be my most emotional, just because what they mean and the process of 3 years. I think the group that's been built in Alcobendas, most of us being here from the 23-24 league when they got up to the DH division. It's just been amazing doing it with the people that was there, and just the growth in all the players.
And then best player you've ever been able to play with? Apart from Ben Donald, obviously.
Apart from Ben, I would say Ben. Like, I would say one of them would be Martin Dutoit from Tammy. I played with him five years ago. And as I said, like, it was the first years of my rugby career. And I remember looking at him like in a maze. Like, he taught me so much. And whenever I had a question or like just rugby IQ or just technique, he would help me instantly with no questions. And the things I saw him do in the pitch, just been amazing. But I would say Agustin Cittadini, Diego de Minteguiaga, and probably like someone like Adrian or Becca would be my top choices. Not only because of the players they are, because the great mates they are to mine. So I would say those four. I would say.
Awesome. Vidal, thank you so much for your time today, mate. Really appreciate it. For all those you want to keep an eye on everything that we're doing at Rugby Through the Leagues, and obviously everything that Vidal's doing over at Alcobendas. Obviously, hopefully he's going to sign again for next season by the sounds of it. Please make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, do all those gubbins so that we can share the message of Spanish rugby, grassroots rugby. We just want to keep growing, and really appreciate everyone's time. Vidal, thanks for your time, mate.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.